Happy Friday here in Maryland. Hi, guys. I am Callie Ferranzo, of course, with Keith Fustel. A bit rainy out there. It was
Mm-hmm.
sprinkling a little bit, and we
Mm-hmm.
may get a little bit more, but the sun's out right now. So let's see how the rest of the day goes. We've got a muddy track, Keith. They sealed it up pretty nice and tight today.
Let's see if we can take a turn for the good here with this weather, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's raining kind of quite a bit last night, especially north of here, up where I live. But yeah, right now we're going to start with a muddy, almost good sealed racetrack. We'll
Right.
keep you updated if anything changes with the condition. But the sun's out, maybe get a little breeze and dry things out here at Laurel Park for this Friday, the 13th. Maybe we get a little
Friday the
good luck with our
13th.
picks.
Yeah, let's see if we can make something happen
Yeah.
out of that. That race number one does kick off the early pick five, of course, Industry Low Takeout, and that starts in a maiden claiming 20,000, going the one-turn mile on the dirt. Keith, you and I agree in this race. We both go with the number two California Ghost for Rudy Sanchez Solomon, and Angel Cruz gets the call on this one. Going to need a bit of a turnaround, but drops at the right level finally, I think, this time.
Drops and Lasix on. I don't want to be redundant, but yeah, it's a factor. We saw it happen with the
Tis
opener.
the season. We'll be getting a lot of that.
Yeah,
A
we
lot of
had
that.
we had it with the opener. Was it the Shoeing Horse the other day? The Omni Fig kind of a bad race. Lasix on wins. I see a similar situation. This horse came off a couple-month layoff, was thrown to the wolves. A big ask against B West, then post time and Landon Jack. Races just that first try was pretty good. Made a move into it, just a little bit of a fade.
Right.
But I think back today at the one-turn mile may not be as quick as Sir Smoke early, but I think we'll
Doesn't
set up
need to
shop, stalking and can go on the attack around the turn. But this little drop and 19% wet track is California Chrome. The Stallions, the offspring of California Chrome's a positive. Some siblings that have carried the speed going long. So I like California Ghost to get you going the open. I think the 6 is going to be a player. You've got, Sir Smoke in there. I think Elusive Image again. A first-time Lasix blinkers
I
on.
was, with
to make a
Elusive
run.
Image, I was looking at this race again, and I was like, ooh, do I want to move Elusive Image up there a little bit? So I'm glad you did. I think
Yep.
especially with the blinkers on, I think they did play around with the blinkers second start out with this one. I distinctly remember, I think they did try
Okay.
in that second start. So I'm
We'll
kind of
double
looking.
check. We might have missed that
I'll double
one.
check.
Okay.
I might have missed that one, but double check if the blinkers were on for that second start. But overall, I like the stretch out to the distance here, especially with Ricky Silliman, 2 for 5 lately with the blinkers on.
Yes, the 6 does key up with some decent horses. You go 3 back at that 5.5 at Penn Bick, who came back to run third in a stake with some little bit of trouble there
Right.
with a 53.5. I wasn't too thrilled with that field that he faced last time, but again, Lasix on shipping down for a reason. We'll see, but I'll key around Rudy Source, the 2 in the opener.
As I do as well. Race number 2 kicks off Keith's early pick 4 ticket. Keith,
Yeah.
let's take a look and see what you got. Some big scratches affecting your first race. Oh, it doesn't affect you too much there.
Yeah, shorter field here to get you started. I go 1, 2, 4. Price user would be 4th in there. Should be 8, 10 to 1, I would think. Race 3 deep. Callie with the 2, 4, and 5. Blue Moon Bunny would be the best value in there. Race 4 and 5. We'll just go 2 deep. See if we can kind of knock it down. 5 and 6. I think Great Go Dialing Dixie. We'll just kind of go out as a team and run around there as a team. See who survives. Race 5 with the 3 and the 7. Call Me Maestro offers a little value. I think money will be spread around quite a bit in race number 5. A little price shot if you can afford it would bump it maybe just a little bit more, not much. A notion to tap it in race 5, turning back in distance.
It's an $18 ticket, Keith. Very good. And
Not bad.
that's a solid Keith Fustel ticket. And we'll get into race 5 in a little bit because I have the same horse on top as well. But back to race number 2, going 7 furlongs on the dirt, obviously. And this claiming 25, never win 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at our shared top selection. This is also my best bet of the day in the
Okay.
number 4 Union Fleet for Anthony Ferrier. Gets Angel Cruz on top this time, making a nice go of it, taking a bit of that wide trip last time out.
Yeah, last time out a little bit of a wide trip. Now shortening up back to the 7-8. So we're going to go back a little bit in the time machine. November the 7th. Last time Union Fleet ran at 7/8. This is the day Ferrier claimed this horse from Lynch, was able to save ground, settle in early, shifted out around the 3 ace pole, and is able to just kind of roll on by, kept on going. I don't know why I was watching the 4, but I was watching the 4 as well. But Union Fleet just opens up here with that move. See you later. Good effort on the 27th. I thought overcoming a little bit of a slow start. Maybe he hasn't quite faced the type of horses when you really break it down. He's been running against, 3 in lives to a point. Or
Right.
Center Mid Maddie, Young Turk, they've hooked up against Cozy's Wildcat. Horse won 5 races. So you kind of read between the lines and
Right.
make sure you take care of these conditions. But Union Fleet, I think, has some target too with Young Turk, Center Mid Maddie. They're pretty quick in here. They should hook up. They did last time. I think they will again today. Maybe the 1A gets the better of that one. But 4th, again, I used the source last time at a price. Back at you, who beat it is a 5-time winner, a nest runner. Ran okay against a little bit of against the grain with that
Right.
inside run. I think coming back, I maybe like to see the track a little bit drier. Okay, I think he scores a little bit better on a fast track, but would not be surprised for 4th. A little positive bump up in class to make a rally into it.
I did. I raised my eyebrows a little bit at
Mm-hmm.
4th, and then I saw the wet. I'm like, oh, I need to see it a little bit more
Yeah.
solid on a wet
Yep,
track. So
agreed.
yeah, why not? So that's where I went in with the number 5 underneath. But Keith Fusel 4-2-1A7 in the second at the start of the early pick 5. Race number 3 is this maiden claiming 45, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 4 and 5-year-old girls. You land on the number 5 Brazina. This one. Hey, David Howard, who has been really, really warmed up lately. J-Ron Barbosa, of course, a hot jock that he gets in that. The race also potentially sets up for him well. There's not a ton of crazy speed in this race, so depending on whether this horse can stick up there and stay up there, which I think with Barbosa, that's a definite possibility, then I definitely think is a horse to definitely have. I like that you have this one kind of under the radar because I went with the obvious go-to in the 2 for the Russell horse, but there's plenty for him to offer.
Yeah, Thunder Boss, she looks like the primary speed, especially with the blinkers on. She did a lot of the dirty work. Inside part of the track was good on the 4th of December. Both of these horses, the 2 and the 5, were just off of it. And Berzino was able to kind of just grind Thunder Boss down late. And just,
Right.
extra ground might work. Barushka, the bottom side for the 5. Longer within the family. I think this horse is going to benefit here. Second blinkers, second Lasix. David Howard substituting now for McGee. A little bit of a break, but you'll see a couple runners like that
Right.
today. But
Yep.
Berzina, we'll see if she can kind of make that same kind of chasing run and just sustain. She's going to have to because I think the 2's going to get away a little bit early. If you're looking for the price, and that would be Blue Moon money, third off of a little bit of a break.
Sure.
I think this works. 31 to 60 days is layoff. It's not a smaller sample, but 30% with a positive ROI for the McMahon barn. So that would be like the value play to use in there. And
In that
even
race,
maybe
yes.
the one underneath if things get crazy up front. But looks like the road's got to go through the 2, your top selection.
There is a chance that things could get crazy on the front, but I don't see it being too crazy. But I understand with the choice of that little bit of attraction to the 1. But the number 4th race, excuse me, not the number 4, the 4th race
Okay.
is the start of the Rainbow Pick 6. Of course, I've got a ticket lined up, and I go ahead and single up right away with the scratch of Bernie's on Fire I just made. I end up singling in on a frog horse in race number 5. I'm putting in some security because this is horse racing, but my main horse, and that is the 7 in that race, Call Me Maestro. Humphrey had a double call with this potential talent who also loves an off track as well. Race number 6, I go with the first time Russell runner in Maria from Miami, but Ned Allard has been all right with his firsters lately. A short sample in the money stat coming at you later. Race number 7 in that restricted allowance. I don't trust the favorite there, so I go with the Deal Devico price play. In addition to Game Stonks, who seem to kind of find her place a little bit, but race number 8 is where I go wide. I do press the all button with a couple of those scratches in there. Why not? And in race number 9, it's a maiden 12-5. Got to go 3 wide. Luckily, I keep your number 1 that you have a stat on that horse coming up in our nightcap for a $36 ticket for the Rainbow Pick 6 that starts in this claiming $5,000 event, going 5.5 on the dirt. Scratch the 1 jetting out, the 2 Bernie's on Fire, and the 7 Brooks Robinson. You and I both land on, this is my single, Dial and Dixie, Charles Frock, J-Ron Barbosa. This one I actually did have on top beyond the scratch of Bernie's on Fire.
Okay. Some serious speed gets taken out with Bernie's on Fire. Brooks Robinson, we're going to be part of that pace flow. Looks like the main speeds now are right next to each other. Great Go-Go and Dialing Dixie. I'm going to hedge Dialing Dixie. I just like the way, kind of how dogged he was early, was able to to press and just keep going a couple races back. Last time out against the right kind, again, he's sustaining numbers going in the right direction. Now faces open nickel. I think that's fine comparatively to what he's been running against. This is going to work okay. Great Coco didn't run terrible last time. I went back and watched that video. Bump start, failed to keep pace, but was kind of rated off the pace after that trouble beginning, broke a little bit awkwardly, but gave willing effort. Sometimes you got to watch, even though the horse was ninth beaten 5, the horse was trying. The horse was trying through the stretch. So we'll see what tactics, because he showed even like he might be able to have a rating gear if Dialing Dixie's ago. I think if they avoid a duel, these two go a long way in the fourth. We've got a video of Jimmy the Kid. You've got Underneath. Brutal beginning last time. That cost you. See the horse on the outside. Unfortunately, a little less experienced rider. It's tough. Horse just might be a little bit difficult to ride. And it just got put in a bad spot, unfortunately, breaking way on the outside as well.
And that was I was going to bring that up as well. When you're a jock in the 8 post, and here's the second problem: the jock kind of lets this horse go up there a little bit, kind of use up a horse a little bit early, and I think that's what you were going to bring up in this one. But when you're a little bit inexperienced and you're on that outside post, sometimes you have a snap just like that. That's all the time that you have to get once you get in the gate and the gate's open. So that I saw that kind of scenario happening with him last time out.
Exactly. And he's a horse that's shown the ability in the past to kind of sit, move into it. 5.5, I think, works for him. Going to need a patient ride. I don't think he wants to get engaged with either the 5 or the 6 early. Let things develop. He'll be able to drop it and save some ground and make a move from off the pace. There's another Frock horse, Confusion Baby Boy. Good run behind Bernie's On Fire on a track with moisture 3 races back. That was an awfully good race. That 68 certainly works and could get it done.
Race number 5 is a claiming 16,000 going 6 furlongs on the dirt. And we both have the same price play, value play. And, of course, we've got a late pick 5. Nice carryover of $8,594. That's definitely going to take up to clear 10 grand by the time the gates open in this 5th race of fair. But in this claiming 16, never win 2, you and I both land on the number 7. Call Me Maestro for Damon Dilo DeVico. Get to William Humphrey. William Humphrey had 2 calls in this race, and he decided to go with this guy, and came on our nice day with this muddy track that we've got going on today.
Absolutely. 6 furlongs right back. Moisture in the racetrack, McLean's music, Mizzen Matt's bottom side, that's all good. Got it last time off the long break. We know Damon's stats with the break. How about this with a little bit of a 50% jump up in claiming price? 5 for 16, 8 for 16 in the money the last few years with an ROI of 338. Should be able to get position, some speed in here, definitely to the inside with 10X. We'll see if Star Shopping off of the 7/8 can be as close. I think you're going to see get position and maybe rate a little bit. So stalking pounce move here for Call Me Maestro. Let's go ahead and look at that video of Star Shopping. Thanks, guys. It was put into the race early. I did not see this coming. Now, the internals weren't that, you're seeing 23 and 247. Not that fast, but Paco Lopez, you talked about.
He's going to go.
He's going to go. You called it exactly. I think you called it on the show that day. And really fought well down inside the entire way. Now, the speed was good, 30th, inside okay as well. But I thought all things considered, here's another Damon horse going to make the run on the outside on the engine. He ran quite well, just turning back a little bit. 3rd time in the barn, should be able to kind of sit and move from just off of it.
What's going on in my head is that we had Paco just kind of get a little bit. The horse got a little bit discombobulated with some of these. He rode this Maryland horse like he was on a Florida horse, and but the track did help him out that day a little bit, I think, as well. So a nice effort by. I like the change up, obviously, from Paco to J-Ron. I think J-Ron's going to fit this horse a little bit better. But you also have the number 2 underneath, Notion to Tap It from Rios to Ray, 15-1. Morning line for Grant Whitaker on this time.
He should definitely escape. Dirtied up for him the last 2 races. Not really good at all. But excuse last time and excuse before, caught wide. So turning back in distance, he made that good run. We talked about a Maryland Million Day sprinting. Enough flow in here to kind of sit back and rate and make a run. Just got really discombobulated after that early steady last time out.
Race number 6. Actually, before we get to race number 6, we're going to go on a quick commercial, and we'll be right back to talk about the rest of our card and a couple of talking points in the lightning round.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
we're back in this 3-year-old filly affair, going the 5.5 on the dirt, and this maiden claiming 45. Keith, you've got Mama's Eyes. This is your best bet of the day. On the outside, Jerry Robb Xavier Perez gets a much better post position last time out and handled the mud not too bad last time out.
Yeah, no real excuse. Out to the front and then just got weary late. Goes second time off the bench with Lasix on. That's the key here. The family, we talked about it last time. Street Loot, a lot of hope. Handled the off track. It's all systems go from the outside, shortening up a 16th of a mile. See if with this Lasix on, she can take them coast to coast.
A nice gate work on January 7th might have helped confirm that. A 48 and flat out of the gate. That is where I regret not putting this horse a bit further up on my ticket, but I'm just still wondering a little bit how this individual out of this family in particular is going to be handling this muddy track again here today. I go with the number 3, Maria from Miami. Of course, I'm just kind of going for a bit of the obvious. We're shortening up in distance. We're getting Brittany Russell first in the barn for Brittany Russell, and now not only because a couple of these have happened where the owner has had this horse with Rudy in New York, then he switches the horse over to Brittany, and some of the entries have been quick turnarounds, but this one she's had for a little bit. This horse came back to her in mid-December, or excuse me, late December. She's had the horse for a couple weeks, so still kind of the same situation, but I'm going to go ahead and key back on that maiden claiming effort up in New York. The distance fits. Today, this field is going to fit, I think, today, although, like I said, depending on how much pressure Mama's Eyes is going to be giving this Maria from Miami, that might be just the crook in the armor, Keith.
I don't think Maria from Miami wants to go with Mama's Eyes early. I don't think she's quick. I'm a little leery of that two-back race, too. When she was second, I looked at that field. Some of the buyers of this horse leading into it weren't great. A shorter price I'll throw underneath. Always tough to kind of toss the Russell horses, but I'm just not terribly enthused.
Fair.
She can be the horse I'm intrigued a little bit about, though, is the 8, Goldiness. Had trouble lining this horse, ended up at 6-1. The number's certainly really not there off debut, but freshened up. Maiden special weight was in for 20 the other day when the other Nest horse won. This horse goes up. Interesting move. I'm going to trust that they like her. A little bit of a protect move. First time Lasix with the 3-year-olds in the second career start. The last couple of years, 3 for 7, 4 for 7, with an ROI of 263. So good draws. I think both of them will be tactical. My 9 and my 8. Ellie Victorina, another one I think should be able to kind of make that run. Was against the grain of the racetrack, moving up off the claim. But I don't think this is a tough field. So I think she can kind of regroup and make a run into it. If you're looking for maybe a breeding to horse from early standpoint here, calm and collected. Secret Kitten won her first 2 starts, has had 3 foals, a win, a second, and a third from those starters. So definitely some consciousness in the breeding with calm and collected.
They're taking a second look at this race. There's a lot of value under the radar where you talk about calm and collected. Deeds of Love, Ned Allard, 7 for 14, 50% in the money lately as of late with his first time starters. So that's one to also a nice work at Pimlico on the 7th, gate work at Pimlico on the 7th. So there's a lot under the radar. So I went for the obvious, but I also really do enjoy your picks here in this race. I think there's, like I said, a lot to offer underneath the radar.
I hope they are enjoyable. And what I'll do there is I'll probably take a shot where I'll wheel the 9. Hope she can I know the road's going to go through her. Right. Maybe we can get bomb underneath and help out maybe a little try in the exacta. So that's it.
Prices and bombs underneath in race number 6. Race number 7 is this restricted allowance for the fillies, 4 years old and up, 1 mile and 16 on the dirt. Keith, you have the number 7. You go with Mitten Mazel on top for Rudy Sanchez-Solomon. This one is a bit of a need the lead type, but she was able to handle a track with some moisture on it last time out.
Yeah, that was a Rudy Rod exacta last time, right? Mitten Mazel got to the front. The other one kind of raided off, made a little bid, but just wasn't good enough. She drew away. I think she goes from the outside, tries to drop in and dictate it. I don't think this is a real tough move back here to the state bred allowance race. Coming back a little quick. And did ride the grain of the racetrack last time, but she's capable at a route of ground.
And then we both go underneath with She's a Rolling Stone. I have this one in my top selection of Damon DeVico. Horacio Caramanos gets the call. Really opened up in that effort last time out over this course and type of course and distance, and just takes this step up. Now, some of these restricted allowances, they get a bit tight. They get a bit really competitive. This one is interesting. This is an interesting field for this restricted Maryland bred for these fillies, but I really like what I saw as far as the light switch went on, 3 back, going the 6 furlongs. You stretch this one out, which is something Deal DeVico, the team, is also well at doing, and just really, I think, is finding her stride at this distance.
I think she has enough tactical speed to drop into positions. A tougher group, clearly a better group than what she's facing, but she's going the right direction. She went through the wire with good energy, I thought, last time, so hoping like the 5, that's some kiss. That could be the fly in the Omi for my top selection. With Forrest, will she go? Will she send to kind of press the issue with Mid-Mazel? We shall see. You look inside, She is Whiskey, Brittany Russell. They won a 6-way shake to get this filly last time off of Jose Corrales going back out. We're going to show a race back from April the 29th. The lone 2-turn dirt effort for She is Whiskey. Not the biggest of fillies, but she's a trier. And I really can't figure out if she's a little bit better at 7/8 or 6 than around. She's tried. She's willing. And against Click to Confirm here, when Click to Confirm was on her game, this is a gutsy effort. I just, I can't put my finger on it how she's going to react back out off of that 5.5 furlong race. Will she have enough finish today?
And that's and it's tough because she's going right from the 5.5 to the 2 turns, where previously throughout her 20, even late 2021 and 2022 campaign, that was all very gradual, getting up to getting up to those longer distances. So we're jumping from one right to the other. So you got to throw a little bit of trust in Brittany there. But I'm really excited to see what this filly is going to be showing now in a new barn today. Kevin Gomez back in the action, and we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rudy Rod exactly. I'll start with a bang in there. Definitely going the right way. A string of really, really good races, and showed a little bit more improved speed last time. I was interested to see that. But when horses, they get sharp, they put you in a position to win, and she did just that last time. Steps up a little bit, but I think she'll be okay in here.
Feature race is race number 8. This allowance optional claiming 62.5, a 1-turn mile on the dirt for the Girl Scratch in the 2, Mo Martha Scratch in the 7, Ojitos Bellos. I land on the number 6, but you land on Pharaoh's Baby Gal for the other Brittany Russell entry of the day with Toledo on today. Made a step up from that maiden special weight last time out. Are you just giving it another shot at this level, Keith?
Got the settled comment last time, so taken back in the sprint. I want to see a reversal of tact. I want to go to the front.
And you're going to get that.
And I think we're going to get that today, and I think she can go ahead and control it. You look at them, again, moisture and ratio. Will it be that, I think it'll be good by then, even maybe close to fast. I mean, if the sun and the wind hits out. But anyhow, American Pharoah, obviously off track. The bottom side, it's there. But I think the bottom side, too, I was looking at it, could carry the speed long, and that's gonna be the key here for Pharaoh's Baby Gal. Get to the front and try to control things.
I like that. I really like that tactic, and we're certainly going to be seeing that. I think Toledo's going to hustle this filly right out of the gates, no problem. We'll definitely see that. You have the number 5 underneath as well. Angel Art, I love this. Mark Schumann, Carol Cedeno coming back after and getting a little bit of a break after the juvenile filly effort, comes back in. Another change of tactics that we're going to be seeing. This one, Carol's going to put this one straight to the front.
Yeah, this pulled a heck of an upset first time out at 40-1. Then they kind of jumped into that Maryland juvenile filly.
Right.
Tougher field, no doubt. Didn't run awful. Muddy sealed surface, bigger field, doesn't have as much to deal with today in the ways of maybe some traffic and some other things. So Clear Mind, Angel Art, I don't know if she's as quick as the 4. But again, she should be somewhere within the mix and be able to save ground, because I think the one's going to have to be sent a little bit inside. So I think Angel Arch will be a stayer too. Looking at the breeding, should be able to handle the route of ground. Let's talk about the 6.
Coal
That's
Mine.
your top pick, and I'll let you go. We got a video.
We do. We've got a video on Coal Mine, and Coal Mine's going to get a little bit more. We see Coal Mine on the inside right here, right on the rail. This is Toledo was taking a call on this one. Just let sit, let behind, and I like this because we're going to have plenty of speed in this race, Keith. And this is where Coal Mine could get a little bit of, a little bit of the advantage, gets to sit right behind, and hopefully the speed just won't carry away, or they'll kind of fizzle each other out, especially on this surface with a little bit of moisture in it. And this one, I think is going to be bred mineshaft, bred just fine to go on a wet track. So I also think that has something to do with it. But I'm going to be I'm super curious to see how this one is going to produce. Georgie Hernandez might be getting his first North American win on this guy. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like. Ranged up, almost looked like got the lead and was denied by Liquidator, who's holding good form for Linda, huh?
Yes,
yeah,
he was.
Yeah. So that was it. That was my biggest concern, and a drop off of good form. Okay, so Claudio bit and raises up. So a little vote of confidence there for you if you like Coal Mine. Shorter field, but a tough field.
Tough field.
Yeah,
That's why I
field
went
for real.
all on my ticket on my Rainbow Pick 6. But race number 9 is our nightcap of the day in this maiden, claiming 12.5, going 5.5 on the dirt. Keith, let's take a look at your stats that you have on the Frog Horse on the rail, Sapphire Beauty.
We don't always throw out a ton of Frock stats. So we got a
Right.
Frock stat today. Last 5 years on the dirt, Charles L. Frock, 4 for 8, 50%, 7 for 8 in the money. With favorites in maiden claiming races, ROI of 235. I'm hedging. I mean, maybe favoritism will go to the 4, Tipsy Tourist. Maybe I went out on a little bit of a limb, but I think it's going to be her race to lose. Freshened up, a little drop in class. Sapphire Beauty gets sent and see how far she can go.
$2.35 on that return on investment as Keith Fusel's stat. But you also go with the number 4 underneath Tipsy Tourist, as you just mentioned. Annette Eubanks, Mondes came back with a really nice effort. Being put as every single time you put this filly into the race, she's going to give you a result. So as long as she's put in there right from the get-go, because if you look too back, it was a bit of a late effort in trying to get this filly in the right spot, and that didn't happen. So put her up near towards the lead, and we're going to get definitely a better result out of that Annette Eubanks training.
She's had a lot of chances to break the maiden.
Right.
So is my top selection. But 22 starts, 2 wins, and 4 thirds. But was real willing last time behind the other Eubanks horse, looking spunky. So you're right. Maybe this is the one that gets thrown in the race and can just keep grinding and get past my top selection, Tipsy Tourist. That Rising Sun and that Eubanks, they have been on an absolute tear the last couple months.
Yep. So that will leave us with it. Keith Fusel, 1467. I go 5416. And let's talk about a couple of things that have happened in the past week and that are going to be coming up today, including your best bet and value play in the lightning round. Starting things off, a super successful toy drive. All of the info just came out about that, but of course we had the Christmas toy drive, and I'm sitting here on the Maryland Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association Facebook page, and I am looking at all of these photos from that event. It was a huge hit. The room was filled, and of course, as the title speaks, over 60-plus happy kids with some gifts. Of course, you have David Richardson, Joe-Jan Hale. We have Dr. Kelly Ryan. We have Jessica Hammond, Victor, of course, our Santa Claus, and then Diane. Just a solid crew to put on all of these wonderful programs that we have for everybody on the backside that gets to enjoy it as well. So, but also, we talked about it and touched on it earlier, but Kevin Gomez is back in the saddle. He's been just getting on horses for the past couple of past month, I would say, but he's been getting on horses for Brittany. He's good to go, and Kevin's pretty straightforward. If he's good to go, he's good to go. There's nothing really too much about that, but we've got a couple nice horses that he's on here throughout the weekend, so we're hoping we get to see a win back in the saddle for Kevin.
Absolutely. These guys, I mean, they go through so much, and guys and girls alike. And it's such a demanding job, and the risks that they take every day. So glad to see him back.
Absolutely, he did. He went through a spill earlier where both he and Carrasco. Carrasco has yet to return. Carrasco, he's got a wrist issue His is a bit more trickier, but glad to see Kevin back in action. He's so solid. He's a solid guy, both on and off of the racetrack. So it's good to see him back in action. Let's talk about J-Ron Barbosa. We all know it's coming. I mentioned it last week, but he is a finalist here for the Eclipse Award as champion apprentice. He's joined other Maryland riders such as Chris McCarron, Ken DeSormo, Ronnie Franklin, Alberto Delgado, Alan Stacy, Mike Luzzy, Mark Johnson, Jeremy Rose, Ryan Ryan Fogelsonger, Victor Carrasco, and Wes Hamilton. These are the 52nd Eclipse Awards. They're going to take place in Thursday, January 26th at the Breakers in Palm Beach, Florida. So, of course, talking to Tom Stift, he tied with his really role model, Angel Cruz, earlier in this last fall meet title. And so just hoping to continue that success. But, Keith, let's talk about some other possible success that we have going on for today for somebody making a little bit of money. Let's talk about your best bet and value play of the day.
Good luck to Jaron. Hope he gets it done. I voted for you, buddy. So
good.
You got one at least. Best bet of the day, race 6, Mama's Eyes. Lay 6 on outside posts, clear sailing. Let's go to the front, and let's not look back today. Value play. Yeah, I struggle. And I ended up on Call Me Maestro, race 5, number 7 for Damon. Off of that maiden win. Big stat I talked about, moving up 50% of that claiming price has been like a 383 ROI and a huge percentage for this barn. But I think money will be spread around in race number 5. Maybe you get 4-1, something like that. But I'll take anywhere 7-2 to about 5 or 6 on the 7, Call Me Maestro in there. Yeah, and that's it. A little bit of a sad note, and I know people from around here may be not familiar, but a good friend of mine from Ellery, South Carolina, the Ellery Trials, Miss Ann Garrett, passed away on Wednesday evening. I know Maggie Kimmett, a photographer around here, she had sent me the text. She's down there every year. So they're like family to us, Hammy Smith, Gory Smith, and the rest of the Smith family. My condolences. She was great, a big part of that heart and soul of the Ellery Training Center. So she will be missed.
And the Ellery Training Center, of course, she's a part of a system that's been so huge in the development of so many of these horses around the Mid-Atlantic area. So it's just a huge loss, but best wishes to her family in grieving and carrying on and celebrating the rest of her life, Keith. Yep,
we will, no doubt. She was a character, a lot of fun. Gave me a big hug every March when I went down there. And
what's your favorite memory of her?
Just her. She sat behind the desk, had her cigarette, put it down, come up, just give me a big hug. And the way she ran everything, she kept on top of all the business that kind of went on her and this lady, Miss Debbie Job. And they did a yeoman's job because it's a big task. I don't know if you've ever been down there, but a lot of horses. Anytime there could be a couple 100 horses, and they would always know what was going on with each and every one of them. You talked about not just Hammy, but Dale Romans, Calhoun. The list goes on and on with trainers that have horses down there each and every year. So I'm gonna miss seeing her down there.
She'll remember certainly next year at these trials. But we are going to head, with that note of gratitude, we are going to head over to Dave Rodman for some changes and scratches.
All right. Good luck, everybody.